It is Thursday, October 26th, 2023, and I'm all right. Had a good day at work today, fixing bugs and stuff the entire day. Didn't realize how many layers there were to this stuff. It's like, oh, make a flowchart. And then that should be easy. Oh, customize your flowcharts. So this is all for making documents. So like making an automatic Word document with a flowchart, basically. So, make the flowchart. Great. Now customize the flowcharts that you're making. Okay, that's a little harder. Now look at the templates that are being, they're showing where things go. It's like, okay. Now edit the files that those templates are making. Okay. Now program new things, new features into the templates. So, I mean, for a while I was concerned because my documents weren't generating at all. Actually the last step in the process was just not working. But, yeah. Now I got it working again. I think it was just some leftover mistake from something or some rogue. I don't know. So fixing bugs in that is interesting because it's very hard to debug. Basically, the way that I'm doing it is I'm just making a text box pop up whenever, because that's the one thing you can do basically is make a text box pop up. So making a text box pop up with whatever information I need at whatever point in the code, that's how I'm able to debug. And that's not the idealist way of doing it, but hey, it's better than trying to guess. So the person who's been working on this more than, for a longer time than me, I guess he kind of wrote some of this stuff. He's the other guy on the project. He's the only guy on the team that's been around since my internship at this point. He didn't know how to get the text boxes to pop up. So I don't know how he debugs anything. I should ask him, I guess. But let me tell you, it's like, oh, the error happened before the text box. Okay, let's move it up. The error happened after the text box this time. Let's move it down. That's so much easier than trying to, which one of these lines looks like it's wrong in this 1,000-line, I don't know how long it is, probably not thousands of lines, but, it's it's a lot easier to do it that way. Let's see, it's Thursday Night Football. I don't know who's playing, but I'll probably watch. I didn't do any work on my cross-stitching project last night, but I did work on a different project. So, like I talked about with the orchestra scores, I just enjoy reading music. So I actually have a music writing program that I don't use for music writing very often. Lenovo Vantage. Get the most from your device with Vantage. That's the first pop-up I've had during one of these in a while. But the thing is, what I do with the music writing program is I put in pieces that I like and then I listen to them. And I've done that with a lot of pieces over the years. I think I got my first version of this music writing software. It's called Finale, but I got the cheaper version. Print Music was given to me by my parents for Christmas 2010, and I remember that because the version I had was Print Music 2011, and I thought it was funny how the first couple pieces I wrote were in 2010, even though the program name was 2011. But then later through the years, I've gotten like really good deals. I upgraded. The only reason I upgraded to Finale, which is like their professional version, is because I chained like 3 discounts together because I was a student at the time, so they let me do that. They let me do that, the academic version, which is no different than the professional version. It's just that um, you have to be a student. There's no restriction on use, I guess. It doesn't matter anyway at this point because I've upgraded since then, I think, if I remember right. But then I also used the version that I had as a trade-in, so that made it even cheaper. And then there was also just a plain old, deal going on at the time, a sale. So that's why I have really good music writing program. That's why I have a very good music writing program now, and I've upgraded like once or twice since then. Um, when there's been sales or whatever, because I was able to chain three sales together to get it. So all this to say that the first orchestra score that I ever was given by my grandfather and his wife was a score of The Sorcerer's Apprentice by Paul Dukas. I, I don't know actually how to pronounce it. I've only seen his name. I've never actually heard it, I don't think. Well, that's not true, but whatever. Um, so uh, I don't remember when I started this project, but it's not there's a lot of notes in that piece. It's pretty long, um, but I have the entire thing on there now, except for a section, like probably somewhere in the last third of the piece, but not at the end, um, where I don't have the oboes, the flutes, or the piccolo part in. But apart from that, and it's kind of a really annoying part to put in, which is why it's the last thing that I've done, or the last thing I need to do. But apart from that, I have everything else put in, and so I can listen to it and mess with things. What I worked on last night was getting the last part of the clarinet parts in. I had the bass clarinet part in a long time ago. It was one of the first ones that I did. But the other, the normal clarinet parts, I finished up last night. So I might work on those a bit here too. I worked a lot on this project while I was away at school or at college. There were some times where I was in between classes or something, and so I'd just hang out in the library and put in put in music, which is not a normal hobby, I will confess, but I get enjoyment out of it, so I'm okay with it. um, I have a bunch of other pieces that I've put in over the years. Maybe I should. I have a lot of pieces that I put in a long time ago that I've gotten a lot better since then. So I should go back and like update them to modern standards, I guess. But I don't know. Maybe there's some way I can show you guys the pieces. I've never tried recording my screen with doing that, mainly because I do that on my laptop usually, and I haven't had a laptop until recently that was good enough to record things. So, yeah, maybe I'll do that. Watching it though doesn't. I mean, the way that I do it, um, I optimize it for the sound, not for the look. So, uh, if I were to show it to you, it would be way too small to actually see for most of these things, because I separate out every instrument, even if the score has it on the same staff. because it just makes it sound better for various reasons. So that means that that each staff ends up looking pretty small, especially if I am trying to fit them all on one screen. So I don't know. Anyway, I guess that's it.